Unless you're a logger, fisherman, or roofer, getting into or onto a vehicle is probably the most dangerous thing you do on a regular basis. Each year, 1.3 million people die around the world as a result of road traffic injuries, according to WHO estimates. How dangerous driving, riding, or walking is, though, depends on where you are. The risk of dying on the roads is not equal around the world. The roads in some countries are much deadlier than others. So today, we're looking at the top 10 countries with the deadliest roads. We'll look at some of the factors that make these countries' roads so deadly, and explore some of the challenges in even getting the data to make these comparisons. Finally, I'll share some solutions to reducing road fatalities. This is All Things Public Health. I'm Anthony Custer. Let's get started. We're going to count down the top 10 countries, but quickly I need to tell you how I made this list, because this is a list you cannot find anywhere but this video. Now, you might be saying, is it really that hard to count the number of people that die in accidents? The answer is yes. It's actually pretty difficult to get an accurate count of road-related deaths in many parts of the world. This can be due to a number of reasons, including limited emergency response and police, which leads to underreporting, and differing data collection standards and practices, which leads to misclassification of deaths. Altogether, what I've done here is compiled several databases from multiple sources and multiple years, normalized the numbers for population, and removed anomalous data such as really small islands to make what I think is the most comprehensive and current ranking system. And what did I find? The death rates in some countries are 2.5 times as high as they are in the US, and 4.5 times as high as they are in Europe. So what's going on? Let's look at each country, starting with number 10. Coming in at number 10 is India. Now, per capita, the number of road deaths in India is lower than the other countries we'll look at in this video, but the sheer number of deaths earns it a spot at number 10. Each year, more than 200,000 deaths occur on India's roads, which is the most of any country and represents 15% of the global total. One of the factors contributing to India's high number of fatalities is the mixture of vehicle types: pedestrians, bicycles, mopeds, scooters, motorcycles, auto rickshaws, taxis, vans, cars, trucks, and buses, all sharing the same road space. Accordingly, deaths by road user category are widely distributed among vehicle types, including a whopping 7% of fatalities among buses. That represents 30 to 40 people dying every day in India just in bus accidents. Coming in at number 9 is South Africa. Each year, around 13,000 people die on the roads in South Africa, or 23.3 deaths per 100,000 inhabitants. That's nearly double the rate in the US and triple the rate in Europe, making it the highest among the 42-country International Traffic Safety Data and Analysis Group, which is comprised primarily of wealthier nations. What's notable about South Africa is that nearly 40% of road deaths are among pedestrians. As a result, South Africa has embarked on a safety campaign for pedestrians, including such tips as avoid traffic when you're drunk. At number 8, we have the Southeast Asian nation of Vietnam, where more than 25,000 people die on the roads every year. The primary mode of transport in Vietnam is the motorcycle, with more than 90% of all registered vehicles being 2- or 3-wheel vehicles, the highest in Southeast Asia. So it's no surprise that the majority of fatal accidents in Vietnam are among motorcycle riders. As such, road safety campaigns in Vietnam have targeted helmet usage. At number 7, we have the African nation of Zimbabwe, which is estimated to lose around 4,000 people to road deaths each year. While this number is small compared to the other countries we've looked at, it's a high per capita rate given the relatively small population of only 14.8 million. Zimbabwe has seen a huge increase in the number of drivers and registered vehicles over the last decade, and as a result, the country hasn't been able to produce enough driver's licenses, since it traditionally has used metal driver's licenses, which can only be produced at a rate of 48 per day. This has resulted in some people waiting years for their driver's license. In 2022, though, Zimbabwe announced that it was going to transition to plastic driver's licenses. Our next country is our first and only country in South America, Venezuela. Data from the reclusive nation can be difficult to obtain, but estimates put the road fatality rate at around 29 annual deaths per 100,000 inhabitants, enough for the 6th spot on our list. However, the country has undergone extensive changes recently, following the collapse of the Venezuelan currency, which has lost 99% of its value 5 times since 2016 alone, and subsequent isolation from much of the world. Gasoline is sometimes impossible to find or afford, despite Venezuela having one of the largest oil reserves in the world. It won't be clear how these monumental economic changes have impacted road safety in the country until several more years. For our next country, we head to the Caribbean and the Dominican Republic. With an annual death toll of over 3,000 people, despite a population of only 10 million, the Dominican Republic earns the 5th spot on our list. 2/3 of the fatalities in the Dominican are among motorcycle riders, and the vast majority of them are males. In fact, the death rate among males is 4 times as high as it is among females. Research has shown that men tend to drive faster, riskier, and with less regard for traffic laws than women. At the number 4 spot, we have the richest country in the top 10, Saudi Arabia. At its peak, road traffic fatalities were the number 2 cause of death in the country. The kingdom, however, has taken major steps recently to address the dangerous driving behavior, setting an ambitious goal to cut road fatalities by 50% by 2030. Despite these efforts, though, Saudi Arabia may remain top on the list of camel vehicle collisions, with over 600 such incidents reported every year. In 3rd place, we have my home country of Thailand. Like its fellow Southeast Asian cousin, Vietnam, Thailand has a high percentage of motorcycles and 3-wheeled vehicles, resulting in about 3/4 of all road fatalities occurring on these types of vehicles. Roads are poorly designed with high speeds and frequent conflict points, such as entrances or U-turns. As a result, more than 22,000 people die on Thai roads every year, a number that has remained stubbornly high for years, despite aggressive education and safety campaigns throughout the UN's Decade for Road Safety. We return to the African continent and to a country with one of the lowest gross national incomes in the world at only $500. The Central African Republic has been locked in civil war since 2012 with UN peacekeeping troops an ever-present sight. With large parts of the country under rebel control, data is hard to come by from the CAF. However, estimates put the annual rate of road fatalities to be at least 33 per 100,000 inhabitants, with more than half of them occurring among pedestrians. And finally, we've reached the number 1 most deadly country for road fatalities. Quickly though, if you've liked the video so far, please give it a like and be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified of any future videos. So with the number 1 spot, we move south from the Central African Republic to its neighbor, the Democratic Republic of Congo. The DRC is estimated to experience more than 29,000 road fatalities, or 33 per 100,000 people annually. This vast country with nearly 90 million inhabitants has some extremely challenging road conditions. Mass casualty events with dozens of people killed in a single accident are not uncommon in the DRC. And as with other low-income countries, pedestrians make up the bulk of fatalities. Driving, riding, or walking on the roads remains one of the most dangerous and deadly things we do. Countries around the world are working hard to reduce road fatalities, but it requires a systems approach. Simply improving driver education, car safety standards, or law enforcement alone is not enough. Road design, emergency care, and availability of public transport are incredibly important to improving road safety as well. If there's a country you think should be on this list, leave it in the comments below. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.